Time. It's such a delicate thing. In your final moments, no matter how you might reach it, would you ever wonder what's after? Is it just the cold abyss of death? Or do miracles come true? So, let me ask you this. What if you wanted to go to heaven, but God said, Yujo Senki, Saga of Tanya the Evil, is an anime. Wait a minute, why are you making like Destiny videos just a week ago? Yeah, shut your mouth, look at the state of it. Tanya the Evil is about a manager or whatever of a big business who gets paid to fire people, I guess. The most recent ex-employee, Jonathan Abadir, didn't like that, so he took it upon himself to fire his ex-manager from life itself. Like in regular life, manager dies, boo-hoo, life goes on. But since this is an anime, more importantly, an isekai, God comes in doing an ad read about religion and empathy to an atheist of all people. Not only does the manager want a break from the ads, but he disses the voices in his head about how silly it is that he's in such a predicament. That tilts God beyond belief, so much so that he becomes ultra mega petty, and I shit you not, reincarnates the manager straight into World War I. Waking up as a baby after getting brutally clapped by a train, the manager, now known as Tanya, realizes he's not only experiencing poverty and an upcoming wartime, but on top of that, living on the losing side. But like any ruthless businessman, Tanya realizes that the only way to survive such a chaotic hellscape is by joining the military, and to sit back, dealing with all the paperwork, and no combat. Yep, after reaching what, the age of 9? Tanya joins the Empire. At the age of 9. 9. Obviously this world is different from the quote-unquote real world, if you couldn't tell with every disclaimer they have in every episode. But even Tanya notices the similarities between both worlds, so that age is pretty subtle and funny. Anywho, Tanya joins, using his manager skills to rank higher up the chain, and when he's in his first real fight, purposely attempts to go out valiantly so that he can escape the front lines. But as you might have guessed, that doesn't work out too well, instead honoring him with a shiny badge and getting even higher up the ranks while fighting. The rest of the show is about the Empire attempting to conquer the world, while Tanya has his own fighting squadron, even though his true intentions are still to rest easy in the back. So after my little synopsis, you're probably wondering, wow, this anime sounds weird, and I can't blame you. I didn't believe the beginning of the second episode. But you know who did? God did. God did. But I was bored, and Konosuba clips started infesting my YouTube homepage, and then I learned what Isekai Quartet was, and I was like, oh, more Konosuba content. So I took the rational decision when I was faced with that in the car. Let me watch the entirety of the respective shows to fully grasp this cute looking chibi spin-off. Yay! Was that a good investment of my time? No! But am I still able to profit off my own procrastination? If there's a will, there's a way! Tanya and the Forces of Evil or whatever was honestly pretty cool. It was nice that it wasn't just boots on the ground trench warfare. They had mages that were practically small nimble airplanes. The fighting was action-packed, there wasn't much dilly-dallying, and the music, bro, the music deadass was great. I'll never comprehend why the Empire let a toddler of all beings into their forces, even if he was well versed in magic. Nor will I understand why Tanya had to be so young in the first place. I feel like it was added in because the author wanted to include some quirkiness into the protagonist. It's either that or Tanya just has that dog in him. Rooting and tooting and grinding at life to get into the army's more safe and secure sections. Which, you know, good on him. He's got that girl boss mentality. One other thing that was incredibly weird was being X. In the beginning he was saying how humans think that they're tough shit because they can do a bunch of stuff on their own, and how they forgot about their creator and empathy. The empathy part I could understand. Some people suck mega doo-doo and try to take advantage of others. I mean, just look at Walmart. That's like a festering core of tomfoolery where the chances of witnessing stupidity is abundant. Or look at any job that involves customer service. It's as toxic as League and Valorant players. However, the other part? What? Hey man, I know you don't believe in me, but you know who does and will be said in the past tense? God did. So to help you learn your way with God, let me just make your life as miserable as humanly possible. Yippee! Wow, you really showed Tanya the love of the Lord. Way to go. And it's because of that I like Tanya's persistence throughout the show. Sure, he wants to live a long and quiet life, but he's also alive purely out of spite. A great motivator. Just look at me. I was going to say that the show ended pretty mid, but after a quick Google search I found out there was a season 2 teaser trailer, so that's good. Now let's talk about some of the funny bits about the show. Besides Tanya's age being brought up plenty of times, I like how the show still reminds you about it. When he's talking to Thick Mustache and Wise Guy, he's sitting in like a baby chair because he's too short. Not only that, but when they raid the country that's got no air force and have to alert the citizens about it becoming a war zone to avoid war crimes, Tanya plays into her part by speaking like a Goo Goo Gaga baby. His squadron is also funny guys. They're bros, they're cool. I like how they got little silly things about them. Their quirks are more clear in the show's own chibi spin-off, like chocolate and food. Also, when listening to the OST, to use it as background music for this video, I did find something that was a bit suspicious. And let me tell you, I was not disappointed when I checked the comment section. Alright, so in conclusion, should you watch this? First off, you shouldn't ask me, because who cares what I think when it involves your free time? Second, I enjoyed the show. I had no intentions of watching it in the first place, but it was cool nonetheless. Third, yeah, I don't know. The original reason for me making this video was so I had an excuse to make the "what if you wanted to go to heaven" meme. Anyways, yeah, this was just an enjoyable watch at the end of the day, nothing thought-provoking in my eyes at least. Thanks for your time. Bye. You know who else reincarnated someone into World War I? God did.